can come in. What'd you do? Oh, those are cute. What are they? Oh! Oh, those are your psych socks. He didn't have a face. I was confused. I like the, oh, they're pine. Oh, that's cute. Those are cute. Those are cute.
Also very comfortable.
Good. They feel soft.
Okay, I'll let you do it.
Thank you. Bye. The fact that fall officially starts on Wednesday, tomorrow actually. I'm so glad I got that on camera. There's this one hair right here that I keep accidentally grabbing and then pulling my hair, and it really doesn't feel great. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with week 3 of my September reading vlog experience. So it is Saturday, so we're going to start a brand new reading vlog today. So I do have a couple of, well, not really updates, but a couple of books that I'm bringing into the week. I've also kind of got a theme-ish for the week, and then I also have a very fun unboxing because this fun little package showed up, and it is the September line. For Kindness and Candles, and I cannot tell you how long I've been waiting for this because these are all the fall scents and I've officially run out of things to burn. So this could not come at a better time. But let's get into the books first. So the ones that I'm bringing into this week, the one that you will have known about was And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This is for, I believe, just the Magical Readathon and then like my personal TBR. So this is the last book that I need to read for my TBR game. So after this book, I will feel, you know, success because I will have completed 2 books already. This will be the 3rd book for the Magical Readathon, and the kind of only, you only really need to do 2 to pass, and then your character prompts you can do before the beginning of next, whatever the next one is, probably in April. And then a few more for Bookoplathon, but like I'm not too worried about that one. But this one, I'm only 34 pages in, so I'm in chapter 2. This follows basically 10 strangers who come to this deserted island called Soldier Island. They've all been brought there for a specific reason. Each one is brought there for a different reason, and they don't really know why they're all being brought there. And then there's this nursery rhyme about 10 soldiers. It's kind of like one of those songs where like each new verse there's less soldiers, and so people start dying based on this nursery rhyme. So where I'm at, everyone has made it to the mansion on this island, and that's really about it. So there's definitely some people in here who've got some secrets that were like hinted at, but we don't really know a whole lot. So I'm not too far into it. I don't really have an opinion yet, but I am trying to focus on this one while I'm reading because there's an author's note at the beginning where Agatha Christie talks about how convoluted it was to write this book and yet have the reasoning behind everything be really simple, and she's just really proud of this book, and so I want to give it my full attention, you know? So that's the one that you guys will have known about, but I actually did start another one last night, and that is Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore. This is the 3rd in her League of Extraordinary Women series, and this series basically just follows 4 women in Oxford, England, who are part of the Oxford Suffragette chapter, and this is the 3rd book in it. It's just each of their respective romances. So this one specifically follows Hattie, who's really into painting and loves to paint, like that's her thing. I think she was like the best friend of the girl in the first book, like that's I think the first character we met, but she's really into painting. Her dad I believe is a banker, but he's like pretty well off banker, but I think he might be struggling with a couple of things, and his #1 rival is this guy named Lucian Blackstone, which we were introduced to in the 2nd book, and he basically collects debts, and he is on this mission, in this book at least, to kind of get power. He's got all the money he wants, but now he wants power. And to do that, he needs to kind of like bump up in the gentleman circles. And so something happens with the 2 of them. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm only 64 pages into this book, so not terribly far, but I'm physically reading this book, so I wanted to start it as soon as possible because everything else on my list, except for like maybe the manga, I have an audiobook for. So I can plow through a lot of these next week, and I just wanted to get started on this one. And I also love Evie Dunmore's writing. I always think they're so much fun. But there's something about some sort of, I think, arranged marriage between the two of them, and then they take a trip, maybe their honeymoon, to Scotland, and then when they go to Scotland, they kind of like really get to learn about each other more. Where I am right now, none of that really has happened yet. They've just kind of met a couple of times, and there's definitely attraction between them, but I'm really excited to continue. I don't really have much of an opinion on this, except for the fact that I just really adore Evie Dunmore's writing, and I cannot wait to continue with this book. But beyond this one, I actually do have a theme for this week, because there's a couple more books that I'd like to get to if I can, and that is like my fall reads, the books that I have put off the entire year for fall specifically. So I did a full fall TBR if you are curious to see what everything is on that, because a lot of these books on that I'm hoping to get to in October. But the couple that I have on my list, I read one last week, but then there was none is on there. But we've also got The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page, and this basically takes place on a college campus where a specific sorority on this campus is made up entirely of witches. So no one on the campus knows that, but if you are in the sorority, you know that the only people in this sorority are witches. And I think some weird stuff starts happening on campus. But I believe we follow a girl who is a freshman, and she's just starting out in the sorority. So it gives you me that like very interesting witchy vibes, which is really a fall thing for me. If there's a witch involved in it, it feels very fall to me. And I don't know, I like the idea of this sorority on a college campus. So that's one that I'd like to get to this week, as well as Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This is the first book that I've ever read by Naomi Novik. I've had it for a long time, but this is like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It takes place in a village that's on the edge of this wood, and in this wood lives this guy named the Dragon, and he is a wizard, and it says that every 10 years one woman must be handed over to serve him without question, and this time it's our main character's turn. It feels, the woods make me feel like it's fall. So this week I would love to finish these three. This one would be great to finish, but I'm in no rush to finish this. I just want to finish it before the end of the month. But these are kind of the only, I mean there's a few more, but these are the primary fall reads on this list, so I'd like to get to them this week. But yeah, those are the reading plans I've got for the week. I don't know how often you're gonna see me, because this next week I will be working from home again. But I have a test for my job, some like licensing test that I have to take on Thursday, and I get to study for it, and I am stressed. So I don't know how much reading I'm going to get to this week. I don't know how often you're going to see me this week. I need to go ahead and start studying, but I thought that I'd wake myself up, because I am still asleep, with a very fun fall unboxing. So if you guys are new to my channel, you probably know this as well, but I am obsessed with the Kindness and Candles candle company. It's run by my lovely friend Taylor, and it's one of my I think everything that I've burned in all of these vlogs has been her candles. They are soy candles, they're stunning, they smell great, and just I love everything about them. They have very quickly become one of my favorites. So I am an influencer for them. So if you would like to use my code, it's good until the end of September. And that is Nerdy10. You will see it down below in all of my videos. But you can get yourself a discount if you'd like anything that you see here, because she's got some really exciting things in this September line, which is live. You can go ahead and get it, as well as some things that she's got stirring for October. I've seen a few things, and guys, it's fantastic. This, am I going to be able to show you what this looks like? Probably not. This is what it looks like. So in each box, whatever you get, whether it's one candle or the entire line like I have, she puts in a little sample for you of a scent that she thinks you will enjoy. Now, she knows me. We're friends. So she put in the Bookstagram scent for me, which is literally my favorite scent by her. It was from her first line. It's got it's got lavender in it. I don't know, it's incredible. Oh, I love it so much. But she knows it's one favorite of mine, so Thank you for indulging me in that one. And then she's also got this fantastic little card, business card, which has definitely changed since I think the last time I got something from her. It's now got her new logo on it. So love that. But let me dive in and get everything. I think there are 8. Yes, there are 8, well, 6 candles and 2 wax melts that I got. So let me get them out and then we'll talk. In the past, she's done 6, whereas September, now there are 8. But every single line that she does, she has what's called a duo, and that is just 2 candles based on 2 characters from the same thing. Now, I got them in wax melts this time, so I figured I'd do them together since they're already right here, and I know exactly what they are. Now, in the past, she's done stuff on like Christina Lauren books, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne she did. This time, she did it on Dean and Sam, which are the 2 main characters from the show Supernatural. Now, I've not seen Supernatural, but even I can recognize these. So, I saw Dean first, so we'll go with Dean, and it is apple, orange, and bourbon. Ooh, it's blue and gold and silver, I think, in that. Oh, that's, oh, yeah. I definitely get the apple scent, but I think I'm also smelling maybe the bourbon. It's definitely got this, like, apple spicy kind of smell that makes me think of fall. Like, this is, oh, I'm going to say that a lot, just for the record, that this reminds me of fall. It's definitely a very subtle scent, but it's very, very apple. So if you like apple, you'll like that one. And then we've got Sam, which is also apple, caramel, and cardamom. So let's see if I can, I change the way I say caramel and caramel every time I say it. Okay, so Sam looks like, ooh, looks like that. It's green and black. Ooh, this one is definitely more, this one reminds me of Christmas, honestly. The apple's in there, but it's not the strongest scent. It's definitely that spicy scent that, like, I associate with later fall / beginning of Christmas. So this one we're going to hold on to until Christmas. Ooh, I don't even know how to explain this to you, but, like, this smells like spices. Like mulling spices, maybe? Now I'm just gonna dive into the rest of them. They're all wrapped like this. They come in these glass jars, and the glitter on them is this beautiful half and half. Oh, we're just gonna start off with a bang with this one, which is the Underworld. Now, this is based on the Wicked Villains series by Katie Robert, which I have not read, but I actually do have one of them, the first one in the series, on my TBR this month. But this one is Cedar, Amber, and Oak Moss, and it looks like that. Oh, that's really pretty. It's like blue, gray, and gold in there. Ooh, it's definitely, ooh, I don't even know how to explain this. It's a very outdoorsy, masculine kind of scent. Oh, I like it. It's very clean. It's also not very strong for someone who is, like, if you are not a huge, strong scent fan, then, like, this is a good one to go with because it's not that strong. I mean, it probably will get stronger as you burn it, but it's not, like, overpowered. Like, I had to, like, actually put my nose in it before I could smell it, where some of the candles I can smell before I even open them. So I like it. It's definitely a masculine, kind of smells like cologne. Maybe that's the best way I can describe it. And then let's see what this one is. There's a few in here that I'm so excited about. This one being one of them. So this one is called Book Daddy. So it's pine, eucalyptus, and cedar. I expect this to be a very masculine scent as well. And then, of course, we've got, like, multiple different blues in there. Yep, I definitely get the pine. Ooh. It's definitely, like, I feel like I just walked into the woods. That's the scent I get. The more I smell this, the more I smell the pine, which reminds me of Christmas. This might be a Christmas candle. Oh, that smells so good. Oh, it's also really clean. Like, these last two have been, like, super clean scents. Let's see what this one is. Ooh, this one, I'm excited to try this one out. This one is Hardback Hoarder, which is pomegranate, grapefruit, and peppermint. So I'm wondering how strong that peppermint's going to be. Oh, look how pretty that is. Red and goldish yellow, maybe? Ooh, I definitely get the grapefruit. Maybe the pomegranate a little bit. I definitely get that, like, tart fruit smell. I don't really get the peppermint too much, so I was wondering if it was going to be super strong and kind of smell like Christmas, because peppermint to me smells like Christmas, but it really doesn't. Oh, I'm a fan of that. That smells good. Oh, that smells really good. This is a great kitchen candle as well because it's got that like food smell, maybe. Oh, that one smells really good. Yeah, I like that one. All right. Here's the ones. I'm just going to go ahead and open the last three because these are the ones I feel like I was the most excited about because they are the more fall scented ones. So the next one that we're going to look at is this one, which is Make Me Your Villain, which obviously is based on Shadow and Bone. And this one is Honey, Maple, and Cinnamon. This one feels like it's going to be a very good, maybe Christmas scent. Ooh, it's got that black and gold, which is perfect if you've seen the show. Ooh. Oh, I'm really getting that maple in there. This reminds me of like a Thanksgiving pie. The cinnamon is really strong, but like in a good way. Yep, I'm a fan of that one. That one smells like a pie. Okay, the two that I was the most excited for, I've left until last. So the first one is Coffee and Currently Reading, and this one is Pumpkin, Nutmeg, and Clove, which to me just has all of the fallness to it. And it's this beautiful orange for the fall. Look at that. Maybe some red in there as well. I really get the clove. The clove is the strongest one. Honestly, they all kind of mix really well. It's definitely like a sweet scent. To me, it's like if you like pumpkin spice things, then you probably would like this one. It gives me that like sweet pumpkin-y early fall feel to it. And then the last one is Small Town Vibes, which is bergamot, pine, and balsam. I'm obsessed with this cover as like the label as well. And then we've got gold and orange. Yeah, it's orange. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, this is gonna sound really bizarre, but this smells like my dad. Like the cologne he uses. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's so bizarre. I feel like my dad is sitting next to me. That's so cool. Oh my goodness. I really like that one. So these, I love everything about these. Oh my goodness. What were my favorites? That's a great question, and I don't even know if I know the answer to that one. They all were very good. This is a very good like mix together because there's a lot of like cleaner scents in it. Now that we're going into some of the fall months, we're getting less floral scents, which I'm a huge fan of floral scents, but to me floral is not fall. So I really like that. There's definitely some stuff in here that reminds me of later fall, early Christmas. Oh, these all just really smell really good. I don't even know if I could pick a favorite. I think if you're the most fall one, in my opinion, is the Coffee and Currently Reading one. It's also my favorite picture as well. But there's a lot of like super clean scents. Like Book Daddy is really clean. Small Town Vibes is really clean. The Underworld and Make Me Your Villain is more sweet, but the Underworld is also a very clean, crisp scent. I loved them all. I don't know, okay? I don't know. They're all great. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick unboxing interlude into the vlog. Obviously, my code down below if you liked anything that you saw here. And like I said, she's got some really exciting things coming in October. So make sure if you want a discount to use my code before the end of September. Yeah, that's all I've got for you guys right now. I'm gonna go into the studying now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go into studying. And I'll see you when I see you. It has been a couple of days since I talked to you, but I actually do have a reading update, so I thought that I would come on, say hello, I'm still alive, and talk about the book I finished, which was And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This is super short, but I basically haven't really been reading a whole lot in the last couple of days. I read a little bit before bed, and then if I need a break, I'll like slip in a chapter here or there. This is a really easy book to get through for lots of reasons. I mean, it's short, first off. It's less than 250. Yeah, it's just under 250 pages. It's also very dialogue heavy, so there's not a whole lot of like big paragraphs. And also it just kind of moves. After the first couple of chapters, it's really like moving and you're interested in what is going on. So I know it's been a while since I talked to you about this at the beginning of the week, so I don't even remember if I told you what this is about. But basically, this is set on an island called Soldier Island, who no one really knows who owns this island, and there's a lot of rumors that are around it, but it's an island isolated. The only way you can get to it is by boat. It's too far away from the mainland to swim. It's quite literally in the middle of nowhere. And there's this house on the island. The island's not very big, so there's not a whole lot of like space around the island besides this house. And at the beginning of the book, there are 11 people who are invited, or I don't remember exactly how many people are invited, but by the end of it, there are 11 people in this house, including a couple of the servants. And so they're invited all for different reasons, and they're all signed UN Owen. So it's this person that they don't know who it is, really, who has invited them to this place, and they're all totally different reasons. And so they get there, and there is a CD, not a CD, like a record that's played, and on this record, it accuses all of them of some sort of murder, and basically they're brought here for justice, and so they're killed off one by one based on this nursery rhyme. And I adored this book. I gave it 5 stars. It really sucked me in. It took me a little bit to get into it. I had to get to kind of the first murder that happens, which is I believe in like the 4th or 5th chapter, I want to say, and I had to read the first chapter twice because I listened to it and then I didn't really process what was happening, and so I went back and I listened because the first chapter kind of tells you all of these different people who are coming to the island and kind of what the letter said that brought them to the island, and there's all a different, different reasons for it. And so you're not going to know who all these people are, but it was helpful for me to read twice so that I could kind of really grasp who these people were. I loved the idea of this, kind of what happens at the end. You need to read the epilogue, and then there's a letter at the very, very end of the epilogue that explains everything. So like that's part of the story. So you need to have it all. It's like an experience, if you will. But if you're someone who likes puzzles where you're like going through and you're trying to piece all of these little things together, I think this is this is a good book for that. It's definitely not like a thriller in the fact that like you're on the edge of your seat the entire time, but it's a nice cozy mystery where like you're just kind of like going with the people and trying to figure out what's happening. And so I really enjoyed that. I mean, it kept me on the edge of my seat because I like those kinds of cozy mysteries, but if you're like a thriller fan, then this might come off as a little boring because there's not a whole lot of like action per se. It's a lot of like discovering things, and I really liked it. So I gave it 5 stars just because of how ridiculous the end was. Like I was enjoying my time at reading it. It's super atmospheric because it's on this very deserted island, and I don't know, the characters were very well crafted, and it's kind of psychological in a way as well, just based on some of the stuff that happens and like the murders and the mystery itself, and kind of why these people were brought to the island. So I just really liked it. I definitely get the hype. I was a little worried going into it because I wasn't feeling it right away, but like I said, after a few chapters, I was there. So yeah, I finished this one. I gave it 5 stars. I'm very excited. So this one was the last one that was on my personal TBR game, so I've basically completed what I would like to complete for the month, so I'm happy with this. But this also was on for Magical Readathon. I don't remember what the prompt name was, but it was to read a mystery thriller. So I am very happy. I have been reading more of Portrait of a Scotsman, which is the one that I told you about at the beginning of the week as well. I am just almost halfway. I'm not quite halfway yet. This is one that's very easy to just like dive into at night before going to bed, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I love her writing. I love these characters. I love seeing all of the people that we've come to know from the past couple of books in this kind of companion series. It's really great, you know, like it spoils who ends up with who in the past 2 books, but at the same time, when you go into this book, it's kind of obvious who's gonna end up with who, you know? I wouldn't say this is a straight up enemies to lovers romance. It definitely is a part of it, but it's more of a, it comes like, what am I trying to say? Like, it's not an enemies to lovers because they don't actually hate each other from like day one. They have some misunderstandings and some arguments, but they don't like hate each other. But it does have the feel of a hate to love because of the thawing of our characters towards one another, which is like the reason I love hate to love romances, is that thawing, or seeing that, especially in our male love interest. I love it so much. I'm trying to think if there's anything plot wise that I can tell you now that I'm more into it and have a better idea of it. The back kind of gives away, I mean, not really, you kind of know this is happening, but the big thing on the back is that these 2 characters are basically, due to circumstances that we learn throughout the book, are forced to get married. And they are, it's this like weird kind of, they're not really sure what's going on between them. They're both drawn to each other, but they're not sure why. And our female main character, Hattie, is super innocent, and it's fascinating to read. Like, my favorite part so far is the weirdest part, and that is their wedding night, because of how awkward Hattie is, because she has no idea what's happening. And she looks at the situations that they're in, and she's like, there's no way this could physically work. Like, I don't understand this. And it's really interesting. I feel like it's the most honest I've read in a historical romance when it comes to, like, the wedding night where the female is a virgin, and, like, they have no idea what's going on, because in past books I've read, like, they're cute, they're fun, but it's very unrealistic, I feel like, whereas this is super realistic for how I feel like girls would actually think, and I really enjoy that. But there's this trip on the back where they go to Scotland. Like, for some reason, they go on a trip to Scotland, and I'm at the point where they're just about to leave, and I'm about halfway through the book. So I'm sure this trip will solidify their love towards one another, because there's not really any right now, and I just love reading these books because the main characters are so, like, powerful. There are some in this, you know, friendship, this four-woman friendship, that are more powerful and kind of more strong-willed, maybe is the word I'm looking for, than others. And then there are some, like Hattie, who are more innocent, and, like, her family thinks she's really, really naive, and she is in a sense, but at the same time, she also will stand up for, like, her friends and what she believes in. And so it's really interesting to see that kind of conflict with her, of, like, who she wants to be around this guy. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to devour this in the next couple of days. I think I'm going to continue to read this at night, and then when my test is over on Thursday, then I don't know. I'm hoping to finish this before Friday. That's my goal, because I'm starting a buddy read on Friday with my lovely friend Taylor, which is actually on this TBR. It's I'm too lazy to go pick it up, but it's Blood and Promise by Miranda Lynn. She's already read this series. It's my first time reading it, so we're buddy reading it because I think I'm gonna love it, and also I love buddy reading things with her. But that's my plan. But this is a physical read, and that's a physical read, so I need to finish this before I start that. So I think I can do it once my test is over. But yeah, I'm gonna probably finish this one next. But that's really my update. I just wanted to let you know that I had finished, and then there were none, and it was great, and I highly recommend. I want my husband to read it. I think he'd really enjoy this one, just because he has a very puzzle-oriented brain, and he likes, you know, bringing all those little pieces together. So I think he would really enjoy that. But that's my update. Probably won't talk to you until Friday. That is probably what's gonna happen, but it'll be a little bit. So I'll talk to you when I talk to you. It's Friday, as I'm sure you can see by the timestamps in this video. But I'm here because I finished a book, and also I want to wrap up this vlog. Because it's Friday and this is when I wrap up the vlogs. So I finished just like minutes ago Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore. This one was for one of my Bookoplathon prompts. So I picked this up because it was a physical read and I wanted to give myself as much time as I could to actually read this before the end of the month. And then I devoured it. So I've basically been sitting here this afternoon reading this because this week has just been the worst. And I am very excited for next week because next week I can get to the plans that I had for this week. So like all of the plans that I had for this week, we're just gonna bump them to next week, and next week is the last week of the readathon. So if I can finish 2 books, the books that I had on for like my fall reads, which are Uprooted and The Ravens, then I will call this a win. So that's really my plan for next week because this week has fallen apart. But I did finish Portrait of a Scotsman. I gave it 4, I think it's 4.5. I think that's right. Stars. It honestly, I don't know why it's not quite 5 stars, to be honest, but I really enjoyed this. I think I've talked about it a little bit before, but this is the 3rd in the series, and so it was really nice to see this character that we didn't really know a whole lot about. I think she was in the first one a little bit more, but not a whole lot, I don't think. I kind of want to reread the first one because it's been a couple of years, and I've forgotten a lot of things. I thought it was a standalone and then it became a series, and there's a lot of things that I had forgotten about, like the chapter setup, like the suffragette movement chapter that they're part of, and also like being introduced to all of these characters because we are introduced to all of them in the first book, and it'll be interesting. I think I'd want to wait until the 4th one comes out so I can read that story as well and then go back to the first one and kind of just revisit how we were introduced to all of them. But I really enjoyed this. Like I said, 4.5 stars. It was very good. It did some things that I did not expect, which I think is very normal for Evie Dunmore's writing style and just kind of her plot development, because not only is this a fantastic historical romance, all of her books are set with this suffragette aspect of it, so there's a lot of conversations in these books about women and their role in society and how they're controlled by men and all of their rights. Really, it's just a lot of conversation about their rights. And this one specifically is a lot of conversation about rights because Hattie's part of this movement, but she's always been kind of looked on in her family as being the idiot, if you will, because her family is full of people who have very market and economic brains, and she's found all of that stuff kind of boring, so she doesn't ever really participate in those conversations, and so because of that, her family doesn't think particularly highly of her. I can't remember what the word is that they use for her. I'm blanking on it now, because they don't call her stupid, but that's kind of what they mean. And so she's grown up like this, and it wasn't until she was forced into this marriage that she really is kind of discovering the extent of these rights and kind of what the suffragette chapter is trying to do. So you've got that, as well as you've got this awesome love story between these 2 characters. And I really like how it ended. Like, I was very unhappy at first, and then when you think about kind of character development wise, it was good. I really liked it. I think these are good books if you like the historical romance genre, but you want a little bit more substance to the plot beyond the romance. Because like a lot of historical romances do have other plot lines to it, but this has a lot of really good conversations about women's rights. So I really enjoyed this. I'm just so happy, you know, like I love these characters so much. So I'm really glad that I got to get this one in. So yeah, that is the 2nd book that I finished this week. It's been a week. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this vlog because I do have some reading plans. I'm going to be starting my buddy read of Blood and Promise by Miranda Lynn with my friend Taylor tonight. So I just need to read 50-ish chapters, exactly 50, I said chapters, 50 pages. I've kind of sectioned it off so we should be able to finish it within a week, but it kind of depends because there's no audiobook for this and we're both very, very slow physical readers. So having just kind of like a buddy read and having it chaptered and sectioned like this I think is very helpful. But also like the font's not too crazy and the chapters aren't too long, and also I've been told that if you like the ACOTAR series you'll like this one because it's a lot of the same vibes. It does have like fey courts and things like that. So I'm really interested in this one and I'm really excited to be buddy reading it with her. So I will be reading this over the next week or so. But I don't know when I'm going to get to it. It'll just be sometime tonight, and I'm not sure I'll have a whole lot to say after just 50 pages, but we'll see, you know? We'll see at the beginning of the next week's vlog. But that is my plan, is to finish this, maybe almost finish this one, but buddy read this one, and then get to my fall reads next week. But that's really all I've got for this week, because I was able to finish these 2 books, and then there were none by Agatha Christie, which was, did I give this one 4.5? No, I did give this one 5 stars. So I gave this one 5 stars, and then Portrait of a Scotsman, which I gave 4.5 stars. So I'm happy with this. Like I said, I have now officially finished my TBR game, so that's good. I don't have to take any punishments next month, and that's more or less what I was the most worried about, is because I was going into this month and I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to be able to finish everything, but it was a nice dream, you know? And so I think after next week I can end the month finishing what I really want to finish. So I hope that you guys enjoyed whatever this vlog turns out to be. I haven't even started editing it yet, which is usually not the case. I usually edit as I go, but this week has just been a week, so I hope it turned out okay. Let me know down below if you are also participating, how your 3rd week went, or just how your September reading is going. Is there a book that you'd like to finish in the last week of the month that you'd like to squeeze in before you get to maybe some of your spookier reads? Let me know. But that's all I've got for you guys today, so if you like this video, and I very much hope that you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want to be part of this awesome growing family. I've also got all my social media down there as well as other fun bookish links, so don't forget to check all of those out, and I will see you guys in my next video.